Hello there, friends, and welcome to yet another Deadlock video. It's been a while now, but I was planning on streaming the game and trying the new hero as well as going through the patch notes, but I figured I'd make the video first this time around. And there are quite a few things to go to actually check out, but for this video, like this menu change, for example, a lot going on. But I figured for this we would look at the new hero, Mirage. Now, I think most of us in the community expected Astro to be the next one, which is the hero I really want to play. But yeah, Mirage has just been added, so I figured we'd take a look at this character. Has a very similar weapon to Haze, I believe, but only one of them has a slow firing rate, but some really cool abilities. So the first one here is a tornado, where you basically launch yourself. You go in a straight line as a tornado, and you hit enemies and debuff them, and yeah, this is really cool. Also a cool escape if you need that one. The second one is a bit weird in my opinion, but it's basically you have these scarabs that you send out and you have to press it to send it out, but has some really good effects to it and debuff enemies. Same with the third ability as well, where it's like you mark an enemy passively but can also trigger it whenever you want. The fourth one reminds me of a few other heroes I've seen in similar games, so to say, but essentially allows you to teleport across the map, and when you do, you get a buff as well. So really good at showing up at various locations, I suppose. So yeah, this is Mirage. Apparently they forgot to do the NAM mesh again. Volvo, please. So yeah, very slow firing rates. I had a weird bug where it like shot a burst. I don't know, it was really strange, but I haven't seen it since. I guess it's a feature. I don't know. I guess there are no bugs for this hero at launch. 550 health, you know, standing or sitting pretty good, I would say, health wise. And like we talked about, the first build is a tornado. Has a pretty long cooldown, but it's just really a really cool skill in my opinion. You know, you push enemies up in the air, and what's really cool is that I guess it's like it's not a very common stat in my opinion, but you get bullet evasion with this. So you know, you have bullet shield and all that, and we already have that in the game, and resist, but this is bullet evasion in the skill. So I assume it's mostly because, I mean, not much for escaping. I feel like it's more engaging enemies, like chasing people down, and you can be like a nuisance. I feel like this character is sort of, I basically initially I felt like Haze, right, in that sort of camp, but I feel like you have a completely different role obviously with this hero, and so far I really like it. Now the upgrades here is you get a higher duration, which is kind of, in my opinion, kind of insane for level 1, and then the cooldown and then more bullet evasion. I think the bullet evasion late game can be pretty disgusting, like 50% is very high. Now it's only bullets, so gotta remember that. The second one, like we talked about, is the scarab thing. I find it to be a bit odd, but it basically has 4 charges by default, and you launch them separately. So what happens is, if they hit an enemy, you steal their max health. You know, like we have items in the game that does that. For example, you're like, oh, you hit an enemy with your bullets, you steal their max health. But these scarabs do that by default. It also makes them more vulnerable. So like they take more damage, right? And that's only from bullets. If I use this and then they fire at this guy, I already fired one, so it doesn't fire again, because it says right here that multiple scarabs they do not apply. So I don't know. I feel like if you go one-on-one, you will absolutely use this, but it's gonna feel like a waste. But you can also hit enemies, or sorry, creeps or troopers as they're called, like the small candle dudes that you kill. You can hit those as well, even though you get a lower effect of it. So I also don't know why no cooldown doesn't work, but I guess we got some bugs they gotta fix in this update, and no cooldown seems works, at least for some abilities. Maybe it's only the ones with charges. So I have a cool initiation ability that also disrupts enemies. It buffs you, your defensives. You have a very strange but also interesting ability where it's targeted with scarabs. Like you have the whole theme of sand here, right? Which is really cool. It's like Prince of Persia style, I feel like. The third one is like I said, the passive, and it reminds me of, this is why it reminds me of haste, right? But basically, when you shoot someone, you apply, it's a stacking multiplier, right? When that multiplier like expires or it reaches the max amount of it, it is consumed and then takes spirit damage. But they're also revealed on the map. So, you know, if you're in lane and you're shooting someone and they leave and no one has, you know, any line of sight of that enemy that you've been squaring off with, if this goes off, they will show up on the minimap no matter where they are. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, basically what it does is it deals damage, but it also has a multiplier. And what's really cool is that it's a passive you can activate, and you don't need to actually target it. So if I shoot this guy here, you can see it's stacking, so it's 1, and then 2. Now it will expire and deals damage, right? Like, there you go. But I can stack this up and then press my ability,
I have been blessed by the
and it will immediately fire off. You don't even have to target. You don't have to look at them or anything. Like, you can just, you know, shoot them. Like, oh, just shoot all of them and then bam. As many targets as you want. I haven't really. I've been thinking about a build for this. I'm not really sure yet, but I gotta try some stuff out. I think what I'm gonna try, or what I think will be, oh, let me move this. We got some patch notes to go through, but basically I'm thinking I want to go fire rate into.
I fight for my allies.
I mean, we need spirit, fire rate essentially, and then we'll see from that. Charges isn't gonna do much here. Like, I mean, you already have 4 with scarabs, and yeah, it is what it is. But that's, I gotta try some stuff out. But that's my idea. At least if you guys have any ideas, like maybe if you go, you know, high fire rate, lifesteal, bullet lifesteal or something, we'll see. Yeah, I can imagine, like, I would probably play this character like running around like mowing krill in a way, right? The ultimate is not really meant for that, but yeah, we'll see. I gotta play this guy a bit more until I decide what type of build I want to make. But we do have one more skill, and that's the ultimate. It's called Traveler. Once again, long cooldown, but this is why it reminds me of like some other heroes I played, not a game, but you basically teleport across the map. Now you have to actually target someone. So unlike other games where you might target, I mean, Smite, you target an ally, I believe, with Athena, but in some other games you might just target a map. In this, you have to target an ally or an enemy, which is gonna be interesting. And it has, like, obviously it's a channel ability, so, but you do get buffed when you use this. You get movement speed and fire rate, so it kind of reminds me of Dynamo, for example. So if I press this, now I don't have a minimap in this testing area, right? But if I press it, it gives me a minimap, and then you can cast this, or just like cancel it, right? But you can see all the enemies down here and allies. So if I press my ally, it starts traveling, and then I just arrive. No effect or anything. I use like teleport to done. Now I have an increased firing rate, even though you can't really tell. And then you can gank someone, or I mean, I can see myself have a lot of fun with this instead of taking those pesky teleports on the map. Just like, I'm just gonna use my ult. Now I'm on the other side of the map because my buddy is 1 versus 2 and he's having a bad time, and I can actually leave my lane. So yeah. But like the upgrades I already talked about, Tornado, the Scarabs, you have a shorter cooldown, bullet resist buff, which is, I think, actually kind of nuts in this case. It goes from 10 to 25%, which is really nice. I mean, the duration is 14 seconds, which I think is quite long. And then more lifesteal. I think lifesteal might be interesting, but I'm not completely convinced now. And I mean, they have the scaling here, baseline 0.7 spirit scaling on Tornado, 0.9 on Scarabs. So it's quite high, but I'm still not completely convinced by this. But like I said, I gotta play more and actually find a build I enjoy. The Mark has 0.4 in scaling, and it's got some interesting upgrades here. And like the first one applies a slow. Now, this upgrade is like, or this tier is absolutely, I feel like it's insane, because it's every time you increase the multiplier. So if you, this is why I was talking about, I mean, I like to have higher firing rates no matter what, but you know, the higher fire rate you have, the easier it's going to be to stack these. Now it does have, I believe it has a cooldown between multiplier, which is 2.5 seconds. So you can't just pump up your fire rate to like crazy high and then it's gonna apply the marks super quick, right? So you want to find a nice spot for the firing rate, because it's only applied every 2.5 seconds, which is definitely necessary. Because I mean, first upgrade, 80% slow for half a second. That's gonna be crazy to chase down people, and yeah, it's gonna be really cool. But I'm gonna play a bit more and we'll see. Second upgrade, you get a higher multiplier duration, sorry, and more damage. I mean, I think that's pretty decent. But the big thing here, as it tends to be really, is the last upgrade, which is you get a higher max multiplier. So the max multiplier baseline is 8, right? So like I have 1, and then I have 2, and then it goes up to 8. But with the highest upgrade, it's +4. So you go from 8 to 12, which means a bunch more damage, right? So high firing rate, fully upgrade this. I think probably go Tornado could be a lot of fun. I don't think I'm gonna focus on a lot of Scarabs myself, but we'll see. You know, well, I'll definitely try some things out. And then, like we talked about, the ultimate, you have a lower cooldown, which is quite common for the ultimate upgrades, really. High movement speed and increased firing rate. I like the idea of the ultimate. I just don't think it's gonna have a lot of value, right? I think I would definitely get the first upgrade, but I think after that I might just leave this one. If I have extra points, I will probably upgrade all these except for Scarabs. But you know, like I said, I gotta keep playing, trying things out to see what I like to play. And yeah, all the items and everything, like I said, we just had a big patch, so we need to go through that. But you can even see here there's the default build. I mean, they tend to do the same stuff, right? But I would definitely go fire rate, get some spirit going. Very much, I'd probably play him as Mo and Krill, except instead of having to get a ton of movement speed and like Fleetfoot and Veil Walker and all that, I would probably focus on my actual ultimate, so I could probably get like cooldown reduction on my ultimate and just be a nuisance teleporting around with my ultimate instead of just running around. But yeah, it is a bit, it's a long cooldown, so it's like 130 and then you get or minus 10 or 20. I mean, yeah, it's a bit early here. It's Friday morning. So yeah, but yeah, a really cool hero. I'm gonna play this hero. We'll check it out, try some builds, and you see. I think it's important. Like, if you don't like a hero, I mean, there's one thing not liking the abilities, but if you like a hero and the abilities, but you feel like, you still don't really like the hero, even though you like the concept of it, I would say you need to find a build that you like. That's been my experience, at least. I've had heroes where I'm like, oh, I hate this, but the kit is fun, so I go back and try a different build, and it works, right? Yeah, actually, now I like the hero. So let's see if there are any builds right now. Wow. Okay. Well, we already have some builds. I see they've updated. Yeah, like I said, the patch notes, we gotta go through them. This is very interesting. All-time trending, popular. Oh, there you go. So a lot of builds already. So I will probably check this out on stream, see if we can find something really cool to try out. Like for example, this one, bullet resist. I mean, it's laning. I mean, I think we all know what laning is, right? And then they go, okay, so spirit shredding is pretty good because you have like the debuff. You know, we talked about the debuff, a bit more defensive here. Interesting. Basically shredding and amping your spirit damage. Very interesting. Fire rate bonus, absolutely. I mean, some of this I would absolutely get, but yeah, I'm gonna go through some more of it. In any case, that's gonna be it. I want to keep it a bit short. I just wanted to go through the new hero, which is not Astro, it's Mirage, but then again, this hero seems really cool, really interesting abilities, and I look forward to playing him. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the stream. Have a nice Friday, and yeah, I'll see you next time.